Welcome to our aging puzzle. I am your host, Corlette Deveaux. Our show is about aging and how it affects all of us. We will have one on one conversations with guests from all walks of life that have been impacted by life and aging. Whether they are seniors, middle aged, or young, we will bring their inspiring stories to you. We will have the chance to hear stories that will stir our emotions, motivate us, and provide us with helpful information regarding current topics, health issues, and how to live longer and live better. We look forward to an inspiring time of listening, learning, and connecting with each other. Remember, mental health has been getting a lot of attention lately, especially since the pandemic has had such a big impact on many Americans who separated from their family and friends. By spreading the awareness about mental illness and having open conversations, we can help break down the stigma and ensure that everyone has access to the support they need. We are so excited to have Vanessa Charles, a licensed psychotherapist, with us this month to talk about mental illness. Remember, Vanessa gave us great professional insights before, and she will do it again this week. We understand that talking about mental health can be difficult for some people. We believe that by talking openly and honestly about mental health with our guests, we can help someone out there in need. This month, we will still continue to talk about mental health matters. Remember that every month there will be one guest on our show, and that guest will be on the show for the entire month. So we're going to walk you through their journey week after week. So here's what it looks like. Week one, you will hear the big reveal, symptoms and diagnosis. How did they hear the news? We will learn about the emotions. How did their family feel? How did they feel? And how did the family take it? We want to know what's going on. We want to know how they felt. And we will share that with you during week one. Now remember, week two, we will focus on treatment options. My guests will take us through the process to select treatment for the diagnosis. And week three, we are going to hear about the actual treatment. Was it effective? Did they have side effects? Really, tell us what it was like. We want to know and share everything with you. And week four, we will hear the outcome of treatment. What happened? How are they doing now? And what are they doing differently? So join us every week to hear our guests walk you through their journey. Our sponsor is DG Incorporated. DG Incorporated is marketing and business development powerhouse providing business coaching, strategic guidance, marketing, and tactical services to its clients. DG Incorporated helps clients unleash their business potential and growth. Now it's time for Aging Facts. It's no joke that this summer in the United States has been record-breakingly hot, record-breaking heat like no other. Yeah. Whew. Listen, everyone, it's super hot out there, and the heat can be especially dangerous if it comes early like it did this season. So here's some stats. According to the Climate Central and Harvard University Center for Climate Health and the Global Environment, our bodies have not had a time to adjust to this heat. This means that certain people are particularly vulnerable to extreme heat. Those include outdoor workers, older people, people with heart disease, diabetes, kidney disease, and young athletes. And then let's not forget the pregnant moms. They also are at risk. So whenever you can get a chance, stay in the air conditioning. Stay inside. A recent survey in 4 cities revealed that only half of Americans took precautions to protect their health during heat waves. And unfortunately, many people aren't taking the heat warning seriously. So please, to stay safe, they suggest drinking lots of fluids and being aware of signs of heat exhaustion. Listen, everyone, remember, you've got to stay cool and hydrated. So here are some things we want to recommend that you avoid. Avoid these 5 mistakes. 1, too much too soon. Remember, our bodies need time to adjust to the heat, and the heat came early this year, so we really are just trying to catch up. Number two, to avoid mistake, failing to prehydrate and rehydrate. Drink fluids, drink, drink, drink. Mistake number three, don't be the frog in the boiling pot. Cars get hot even in moderate heat. Don't leave your car off and leave your children in the car. Use your AC. It's important. It's going to save a life. Mistake number four, heat plus certain medications can make people more vulnerable to heat exhaustion or heat stroke. Be careful. Ask your doctor about medications to make sure that you don't have an issue. And mistake number five, do not ignore the early signs of heat-related illnesses, okay? The first few signs that you're getting overheated may not feel too alarming. You may get a little sweating here, some fatigue, and maybe dizziness and headache. But listen, when you start feeling nauseous and lightheaded, take it from the experts. Those are the telltale signs of heat exhaustion that's creeping in. So please stay hydrated so we can all age gracefully. Okay? All righty. So our topic for this month is mental health matters. It's time to talk more about mental health in a real and honest way. No more silence, no more stigma. Cut it out, y'all. We must raise awareness and make sure people know that they are not alone. Yes, mental health matters. It's not just the physical aspect, it's also mental aspect that's important. It is heartbreaking to hear about the recent tragedies, both in our society and around the world, that involve depression and anxiety. We all know someone who is struggling. We all do. And we must come together to make sure they know they are not alone in this fight, because mental health matters. Studies have shown that while antidepressants are not able to completely prevent relapse, they do reduce the risk of relapse. So there's a number of ways for you to stay healthy and get through your mental illness, and taking medication is one of them, along with psychotherapy, counseling, and group therapy. And our guest, who has been with us all month, has been sharing some information with you, and she will share more again today. So remember, mental health matters, combining self-help practices with professional intervention. Combining these things together, we can learn to ease the feelings that sometimes become so intrusive and uncontrollable and uncomfortable that you don't know what to do. We have to pull these things together to help anyone dealing with mental illness. But I can tell you right now, do not be discouraged. We are asking you to seek help. This is an opportunity to be heard. If you or someone that you know is really struggling right now and having mental difficulties, there are resources available out there. We recommend calling 988. And listen, if you can't call because you're in a situation, that's okay. Make you a priority. Text 988 for help. If you need help, call or text 988 right away. And we particularly urge young people to text and ask about any difficult subjects or any feeling of uneasiness that you may have. Call, do not hesitate. Now it's time to welcome our special guest. Again, for the last week, she's been fantastic, and we just love her so much. Vanessa Charles. She is well respected in her community. She is a licensed psychotherapist in the state of Florida and the clinical director of the Circle of Wellness. She helps individuals and healthy families overcome psychological barriers, life circumstances, and other crises that challenge their daily lives. And she does this through counseling and a compassionate approach. Vanessa also has experience in mental health advocacy, program development, and behavioral management. Her niche is providing services to individuals experiencing anxiety and or depression. And this week, we're going to speak with Vanessa Charles about life after treatment. Remember, our topic this entire month has been mental health matters, and we are pleased to welcome again our special guest, Vanessa Charles. All righty. Yes, we've got our guest again, Vanessa Charles. Welcome, Vanessa.
Thank you for having me again.
We are in the final week hearing your expert opinion, advice, suggestions that you are sharing with our guests. This week, we are going to be talking about some really final things, post therapy, treatment, updates, results, and what can our folks do. We're going to be talking about all of that today. So, just a recap of the last 3 weeks. We have spoken with Vanessa Charles, a licensed psychotherapist in the state of Florida, about symptoms and diagnoses. We talked about treatment options. We talked about the treatment journey, therapist versus medication from a psychiatrist. We talked about a whole lot of things. So I encourage you, if you missed the previous shows, to go back and watch them starting at week 1 all the way through this week, week 4, because Vanessa shared some valuable information that will surely help someone out there. And we are trying to help someone, even if it's just one person who's experiencing mental illness. We're trying to help you. Help us out there. Listen to what Vanessa has to say this week about post therapy and share some results with us. So, Vanessa, my first question for you is, how can you support your family or friends if they have tried suicide or if they've just had a diagnosis of mental illness? How can we help and support our family members?
I believe the first and foremost thing is to have an open conversation. Don't shy away from the conversation. If someone is coming to you and expressing how they feel, whether it's a family or friend, allow them to express how they feel, and do not question how they're feeling or deny any of their dismiss any of their feelings. It's important to validate their feelings and support them with whatever they have going on. I also believe that it's important to not use suicide as a bad word or make it seem like it's a negative thing. Allow someone to just be honest about their experience, and providing a welcome space for them to express whatever they may be going through. Be patient. Sometimes someone is expressing something to you. It doesn't necessarily mean that they need a solution. Sometimes they just need someone to act as a listening ear, empathize, be there in the moment with them, whether it's just sitting with them, whether it's a hug, whether it's just a hand on their shoulder. Just being with them in the moment is very important. And shutting down any stigmas, not mentioning any stigmas about, well, I heard this and I heard that. Providing factual resources. If you have a support group that you found, provide them with the resource. No hearsay, just look up the resources, make sure they're credible resources before providing it to someone who's in need.
Wow, good stuff, Vanessa. So this is good information, but let's just say my family is from the Caribbean, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for my entire life, I have heard that if you have anything, she's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. She's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
How can we get past that? Because if my family member is saying to me, and I don't feel good today, and I go to my family member and I'm like, I don't feel good. I'm feeling like I'm alone and I don't want to be here. And then I see my family member doing this and saying, girl, you're crazy. She's crazy. That's bad. That's not supportive. But that is a realistic thing that happens every day, because I'm from the Bahamas and I've heard it and I've seen it. What can we do here? If we are the ones that is on the receiving end of somebody saying, you're crazy,
Mm-hmm.
please help me. How can we get past this?
So interesting. I come from a Caribbean background too. My parents are Haitian. So it was one of the reasons why I decided to go into the field, because it was something that wasn't talked about. There were certain family members that we had that were going through things, and it was, oh, don't talk about that. We shouldn't talk about that. Don't talk about that person like that. And I always was curious to figure out what was going on with that person and why was it so hush hush, you know? And, you know, people would blame it on other things that was going on. Maybe someone was dealing with someone. That's why this spirit is on them, or, you know, it was always tied into some type of spirituality or religion. So now that I have a degree and I am licensed, I can educate my family members on what's going on, and they're extremely open to it. You know, at first, trying to explain to some family members what I did for a living was very challenging. They would say, "Yeah, she's in the healthcare field. Yeah, she's a nurse." But I had to explain to them exactly what I did and the impacts. So I think education is one. And then two, we have those families that are stuck in their ways. You know, even with the education, they're still going to believe what they believe. And with that, I think it's very important to establish boundaries. You know, there's certain things and certain energies that you want to welcome in your life, and there's certain energies and things that you don't. So you want to think about what lifestyle you want to live. If you want to live a healthy mental health, wellness lifestyle, are those people aligning with those types of goals that you have for yourself? And if they're not, then it's an internal conversation that you have to have with yourself and ask yourself, you know, should this person continue to be a part of my life?
Fantastic. Very good information. You know, your family members can make a difference in your mental health. So, as Vanessa said, the energy around you, you want to keep positive energy around you as much as you can. And we know this is, you know, being realistic here. If you live in a family that has a certain belief and you feel like you're by yourself and you can't change the way they think, you are going to have to make a decision about who you surround yourself with. Because in order for you to feel better, in order for you to get better, you have to first get help, and maybe you might have to change your environment. Your environment may be contributing to your mental health, right? So you may have to really think about where you can go to get that positive energy so you can feel better. So listen to what Vanessa is saying. Please surround yourself with positive energy. So, Miss Vanessa Charles, what can people do to overcome this diagnosis? Tell me about that. Are there anything that they can do to overcome the diagnosis? Is this ongoing, lifelong? Tell me about that.
I like to think of it as something that's you're living with and that's ongoing. I don't think it's ever cured, because there's always going to be something that is new in your life that you have to deal with and may re-trigger the diagnosis. So you're learning to live with your diagnosis, which is very important. Learning coping skills to implement in situations that may be triggering, learning about the diagnosis. What happens to my body when I go into this state? What happens with my mind when I go into the state? The more self-aware you are with what's going on in your body, the better you are with learning how to handle yourself in certain situations. So it's always going to be an ongoing thing that you have to deal with in your life, and accepting and learning to live with that is very important.
That's fantastic information. You said something that was so critical. Coping skills.
Mhm.
Coping skills. Wow. This is almost like an alcoholic. When you go to therapy, when you are finished with therapy, do you stop going to your support group, or do you stay in that support group for the rest of your life to be sure that you don't fall back? That is important. I
Mhm.
want you to talk about that, and then also kind of elaborate a little bit about coping skills for me.
Mhm.
What are some coping skills that I can do if I'm a female And then are they different from coping skills for a male?
Mhm.
Dig into that a little bit for me.
So to answer your first question regarding, I'm sorry, I, I lost my train of thought. What was the first part of your question?
Well, let's talk about coping skills, and then we can
The
come back to
coping
that.
skills.
No problem.
Okay.
Yes.
So coping skills can range from each individual. It depends on what you like to do. Some assignments that I have for my clients is to think of a playlist that puts you in a very special, positive place, in a motivational place. Create a playlist and play that playlist whenever you may be experiencing any challenges in your life to uplift you. Keep a gratitude journal. Journaling helps. A lot of self-reflection and appreciating the people around you and the things that you have in your life can also help you to remember why you have a reason to continue to live on. And then you have some of the more physical coping skills, whether that's exercising. I myself love yoga. And I know at first when I tried yoga, it was a little challenging, but just like it was important to find a therapist that fits your needs, it's also important to find a yoga studio that fits your need. Maybe that yoga studio wasn't connecting with you the way that you would like to connect. So don't shy away from these things on your first try. It's important to explore. Being with nature is also something that can help ground yourself and keep yourself present. Something as simple as walking outside. I know it may sound strange, but walking outside and putting your bare foot on the grass, right? Feeling how the grass feels in between your toes, looking at the trees, looking at the leaves on the trees, looking at the birds, appreciating life around you. And the same thing with the beach. Go to the beach, lay on the sand, feel the sand around your body, look at the water, hear the ocean breezes and waves in the ocean. It grounds you. It reminds you to be present and to appreciate the life around you. These are just a few coping skills. Oh, last but not least, what you put in your body is important. I've had several sessions where, my clients are having a bad week. I'm like, well, what did you eat this week? Oh, yeah, I did eat fast food all this week. Yes, that impacts how you feel. You eat bad, you feel bad. So noticing the changes in your mood based on your diet. If you feel like there's a shift, do some self-reflection. What did you eat that week? Did you get enough sleep? Did you drink water? All of these things are important and contribute to how your mood is and how you feel throughout the day.
Wow, that was jam-packed with so much information. That was amazing. I was sitting here jotting down information. You said eat bad, feel bad. If you eat bad, y'all, you're going to feel bad. What you put in your body is important. And you said go for a walk, putting your feet and feeling the earth. I was like, that was some good stuff because I like to walk, but I never thought about going out there and letting my feet touch the earth. It makes a difference in just going outside. Fantastic, fantastic information. I appreciate your input so much. We're going to wrap up this month of discussions about mental health. We know it matters. Your mental health matter. Vanessa, is there anything else you want to share before we close out this fantastic month talking about mental health illness? Anything else you want to share, Vanessa?
I know last segment we talked about some resources that I was going to provide for free therapy, and I did not forget. So two of my favorite resources that I send individuals to who sometimes have challenges with, paying for sessions is the Loveland Fund. If you visit the Loveland Fund, they provide free vouchers for therapy sessions, and you get to pick your own therapist. So that's a very great resource to have. And another one is the Boris Henson Foundation. And this is a foundation that was founded by Taraji. She lost her son to suicide. So she created this foundation and provided it as a resource for individuals who cannot afford therapy. So she provides vouchers for free therapy. In addition to providing vouchers, she provides scholarships for individuals who want to become therapists. So there can be a larger population of people who look like you and me to provide those services and those gaps in services. So these are just a few resources. Again, I mentioned 211 and 988 as other resources to find maybe free therapy in your community. But start from 988 and work your way down to 211, Boris Henson, the Loveland. Someone will help you. And if they cannot, give me a call and I will connect you to the appropriate resources.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. We have with us Vanessa Charles, who shared her experience and her expertise about mental health. And she just shared with you a number of resources if you or anyone you know is experiencing mental illness. Take advantage of the resources that are out there to help. We are here to help. Vanessa, you have been a phenomenal, amazing, inspiring guest this month, sharing your information and expertise about mental illness. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having me.
Have a great month. Have a great year. Stay beautiful, Vanessa. And for our guests, if you know someone who is experiencing mental illness, remember 988. Vanessa shared the information with you as well. You can reach out to her if you need assistance. But 988, first call or text. They are there 24 hours a day to help you. Now coming up, tips to live longer and live longer. Live longer, live better, live longer, live better. I got it right, y'all. Here we have tips to live longer and live better. Awesome information provided by our guest, Vanessa Charles. Thank you so much, Vanessa. Your insights, the information you shared was right on target and so helpful. And we encourage our guests, if they or anyone they know are experiencing mental illness, please remember what Vanessa said. Reach out and get help. Every single person, every life matters, and mental health matters. So let's talk about habits to live longer and live better. Remember, we do this every week. We say the same 4 things that we recommend that you do to live longer and live better. So the first one is proper diet. So what we recommend is that, if you want to have a proper diet, you can do some simple things like just start off by ensuring that you get the nutrients that you need, and you can get those things by eating a diet that's rich in fruit, vegetables, quality proteins, healthy fats, and low in processed foods and the sugary foods. Listen, forget it, cut them out, and not good for you. And don't forget to drink plenty of water. Number 2, regular exercise. You don't have to do a whole lot in order to get the benefit of exercise. You can start off small. If you have a disability or an injury, do something small that you are able to do. But we encourage you to get moving, keep moving, because it's going to help boost your mood, ease depression, relieve stress and anxiety, and enhance your self-esteem. So go ahead and get moving and keep moving. Number 3, reduce stress, y'all. Reduce stress. I know it's easier said than done, but I will tell you that when it becomes hard to find your way out of a downward spiral caused by overwhelming stress and anxiety, try this. Turn on some music, because music has the ability to quickly shift your mood, and then you start moving, dancing, relaxing, and before you know it, you forgot what you were stressed about. So turn the music up, start dancing, enjoy your music, play your favorite jam, and release your stress. And number 4, have some fun with some kids. If you have kids, go outside and play, run around. Remember the old days when we used to play outside? We used to play marbles. We used to play basketball. We used to go to the park. We used to do everything outside. Go out, find some kids. If you don't have kids, Find the neighbor's kids and see if you can play outside with them. Find some kids, engage with them, because it's going to make you feel better and you will have someone else that you can smile and have fun with, because socialization is good for the soul. So remember those 4 things: proper diet, exercise, and reduce your stress along with socialization, because doing these things will have a positive impact on your overall health and well-being and will help you live longer and live better. All right, that's my show for the week. Remember, this month we talked about mental health matters, and to learn more about mental illness, visit National Association on Mental Illness at NAMI.org. That is National Alliance on Mental Illness at NAMI.org. And again, thank you to our guest, Vanessa Charles, psychotherapist licensed in the state of Florida. If you want to contact her, you can visit her website at circlewellnesstherapy.org. And to learn more about our sponsor today, DG Incorporated, visit their website at DeVauxGroup.com. And we also invite you to watch our aging puzzle every Friday at 8 p.m. on DG Incorporated's YouTube channel. So guys, go on YouTube, look for DG Incorporated, like our page, and watch our aging puzzle every Friday at 8 p.m. EST on YouTube. Again, thank you so much, Vanessa, for joining us. We will see you all next week. Thank you. Voila!
I'm Kevin Harrington, an original shark from Shark Tank. DG Incorporated provides coaching services to help entrepreneurs open and grow assisted living facilities and build economic wealth. Visit their website to learn more.